Boom.
Boom.
Boom, son. It's
Boom.
The creature feature.
It is a creature feature, right?
We're doing it, dude. I can't believe we're freaking here. This has been a long time coming.
Years
How long
in
has
the
it
making.
been? Yeah, literally. We're going to talk about that. But this, I will tell you off the top of the show here, the idea for this figure started in Las Vegas in the home of the great Steve Sergioli, who you'll meet in a second. Okay. He came up to us and told us, hey, your creature figure, it's aight.
Referring to the creature
the
figure
old
from several years ago.
Yeah, which is what, 2019 or something like that?
Yeah. I remember it was before the world ended in the pandemic.
Yeah, before the reboot.
Yeah, before the
Use the word reboot. Anything else gets problematic. Yeah. So he came up to us in a very loving way as an owner of that figure. He goes, you could do better.
It was okay.
So I'm going to show you guys
ones out there.
Yes.
But,
no, it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah,
but that's the point. This guy says, hey, are we serious? Or are we going to like screw around here like a bunch of babies? So I'm going to show, he has the prototype, bro, by the way. Like he has like an old prototype that like started this whole conversation. So we're going to get into it. Guys, if you're watching this and if you love how we break down the making of stuff, this one's really interesting from like an engineering standpoint. A lot of things we tested out and tried out for the first time. I think, Hector, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm being hyperbolic. I think it's one of the best figures we've ever put together at Mondo.
Yeah, especially with the, we're taking some risks with the articulation and with the type of material that we're using. That I think the only other time we've used it is with Clayface, right? So seamless body, all that kind of stuff. And this one is actually way more seamless than Clayface is. You can actually, Clayface still has some visible joints everywhere. Creature is pretty seamless, right? So yeah, and I would say that we've done a great job. And it's one of the best ones we've done.
It is, man. So we're going to talk all about this tonight. I got some Ghostbusters updates. We got some giveaways to do tonight.
Yep.
Lots of good stuff to talk about. But before we get into it, welcome all you guys. So good to see so many familiar names in the chat. I see a David Dobko sighting, which is
David Dobko.
Yes. Look, this guy, if there's anything he loves on the level with Godzilla, it's the creature. So I'm glad he's here tonight.
That's right. And then we have Christine in here too.
Christine Chapin's here. Yeah, we got a bunch of new faces and new names I don't know, and a bunch of familiar ones. Hey, what's up, Quip? What's up, Toy Addict? So let me start real quick by saying, at any point tonight, if you're feeling the urge to pick up the creature, and I think it's going to happen for some of you if you haven't done so already, it's right here, mondoshop.com, right at the top. You're going to click on this guy, and it's going to show you so many. We're going to look at these photos in a second, but so much good stuff there. So do not hesitate. The link is in the description, but I do have an update. Hector, this is important. We have an update.
It is
on the real Ghostbusters. Okay, this is something that for those who don't know, the Egon Boogeyman 2-pack is up right now. It's ending soon, right? Like this.
The last 24 hours. It ends tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So
okay, 10
today
to 11.
You have 24 hours for Egon and Boogeyman.
Less than 24 hours.
Yeah, this is the final push.
Yeah. So,
but
go ahead.
Yeah, we on the Toy Talk we did originally for
yes.
Egon and Boogeyman, we pointed out that, hey, We heard some of you with the glasses. We
Dude,
understand.
what the hell was this? How
They're
could you
not
allow
final. We
Wow.
took pictures of a prototype, but we wanted to show that we did good on our
this?
word.
Wow. Dude.
And all right, get away from there. Get away.
No,
Show
I'm just
them the
teasing you. I'm just
show them the nice glasses.
Yeah, look. So we got big news. You know, we had these early prototype glasses that we
Zoom in, bro.
what?
Zoom in.
Yeah, all the way.
You want to get closer?
What? But the point is, people called us out and they're like, dudes, come on. Like, everything looks amazing, but what's up with those Gumby glasses? And so we're like, no, you're right. We can do better.
To be fair, we even said it on the previous stream. We're changing them. This is the photos that we took with this, and it is what it is. We promised we will. So we wanted to make sure you all knew who are watching, and you can spread the word that the glasses are changed.
Yeah.
And the one you see on the right, they're white. They're white right now because they were just showing us to make sure that we're happy with the.
They fixed the glasses, but now they're white.
Yeah. What are they doing? They're supposed to be red. But anyway, we just wanted to share with you guys that we did fix the glasses, and they look much better now.
Yeah.
So in case any of you were worried, we did it.
We did it.
The one on the right is what you're going to be getting.
Right here.
And white. I mean red.
What?
red, right? The correct color and thinner. So we thought it'd be nice for all of you coming here on, joining us on Toy Talk to let you know firsthand. Clip
this out, post it on the toy groups. I can't have anybody else roasting us. Okay, just send it out there before Bobby Vala sees it. Oh, by the way, Bobby Vala, if you're watching, I'm sending you the faker from this decade, so you can do an update video. You're the man. Your opinion matters. We're gonna get you the right figure. All right, just so we know. So yeah. Anyway, great news. The Egon 2-pack got even better, and so if you're out there watching, yes, we're good. You're going to get it. All right. Now, one more cool thing I want to get to before we get into the topic of the show, which is there is an awesome freaking poster drop that is going on. And
tomorrow,
it's
I think it goes
tomorrow. It's a special thing. It's more than just saying, hey, we have another awesome poster. There's something really special about this.
Kind of works with the theme too.
This is very swamp, Florida. It's giving Florida, man.
Very, very Florida.
Yeah.
Florida.
So
man.
Here, check this out, you guys. Boom. There we go. So if you go to the main Mondo site and you scroll all the way down, we've hidden a blog down here. And so you could click right here and see whatever the latest stuff that's going on socials, in depth here. So this is big news because I'm pretty sure this is a first for Mondo. It definitely is a first for Mondo. And I think it's a pretty big deal in general. So the folks, it is, right? So the folks at DC Comics, let me see if I can zoom out here a little bit because I'm like mad zoomed in.
You know why you're zoomed in? It's because you were zooming into like the microbes of Egon's face.
I know. All right. So the folks at DC Comics are doing a really cool thing. At DC Comics, they're taking some of the most important comics for their characters, right? And they're reproducing them like the way that we do repros from comic covers as screen prints. They're reproducing the whole comic. So like the original ads, the original, like everything. It's like cover to cover, the original comic. But they reached out to us and said, hey, would you guys be interested in art directing some alternate covers? And we said, yes, but you got to let us release them as screen prints too. So that when they drop, the artwork's awesome. People are like, damn, this cover is so good. Oh, you can get the screen print on Mondo Shop right now. So this is an awesome one we're kicking off with. It's Saga of the Swamp Thing. No, how do you say that word? Saga or Saga?
I say Saga.
When you read it in your head, it says
Saga. It's
Saga. I said Saga, but Saga. Yeah, Saga of the Swamp Thing 37. So the comic is going to be on stands, I believe today, if I'm not mistaken. But the screen print goes up tomorrow. And this is a reproduction of the art, totally brand new art from the great Matthew Allison Cancor, who did our Creature from the Black Lagoon poster, to bring it back around.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an awesome piece. It's a cover basically, or an iteration of the original work by Steve Bissett and John Totalbun. And look at that thing. It's going to be an amazing full bleed screen print.
Very
I just
cool.
love the color, dude.
Yeah.
It's so
good.
cool. I anytime we do repros and you get like these big, title treatments, the logos, all that stuff blown up is the best. Shout out to our poster team, John Smith and Josh, for doing a great job getting these together. So yeah, come over here, check it out. It drops tomorrow. You can read about this. Really, really cool. Some good quotes from everybody. But ultimately, the big news is Mondo got to art direct a DC comic cover. And we got to hand choose the artist we wanted to work with for it. And it's going to be on stands. And then there's also going to be an opportunity in our shop to get the screen print. So it's pretty freaking cool. It's a momentous occasion, in my opinion. And it's timed. A 14-day timed edition starting tomorrow. All right.
So good.
All right. So now, without any further ado, let's bring in the our good friends here. So this figure was a labor of love between Hector, myself, but most importantly, Steve Sergioli and Beto Matali. Round of applause for these guys. They're awesome. They've done great stuff, great work with us here. And honestly, this is a very unusual way that the figure has come together, right? Steve, what is your recollection of that day that I was talking about in the beginning?
I live here in Vegas, and I knew there was the licensing show coming up. And, I report from time to time, pretty much all the time for Action Figure Insider. So I went on behalf of AFI with my good friend, the Toy Shiz. I'm sure you all know Shiz.
Toy Shiz, yeah. We guys got to see him in person.
Yeah, and so we went to the show, and I remember we walked into the Mondo booth, admiring your figures, of course. And I was standing in front of the creature, and you came up, and I've known both of you, I think, for years on Facebook.
Yeah.
So it was nice to meet in person. And we just started talking about the creature. You're like, oh, I see the creature. And I said, yeah, I own it. I bought it day one, but it's not as on model as I would have liked. If you want to, because I'm brutally honest.
And at that point,
he roasted us in the middle of the show floor.
I did not roast you.
No, he was very polite.
No, I
he was
got it
very
right
nice.
here.
Yeah.
Got him.
That's the OG, yeah.
Yep, I got him. And Beto and I, when it was released, we work on a lot of fan projects together, and we started talking about, hey, maybe we can do a creature for ourselves, and we kind of started. Beto just started, I think, sculpting digitally then, and we just started playing around with it, and I had some pictures on my phone, and I've got the.
Yeah, let me solo you.
Yeah.
Look at that. So this is what you showed me, right, Steve? You had pictures of this in your phone, and you said, let me show you something, and this is what you ended up having in your phone. And I'm like, damn, that is actually excellent, right? And we literally said, we looked at it, and we said, how can we make this a reality, right? And that was the beginning of the conversation that's lasted almost 2 years. It's almost 2 years in the making.
2 years, yeah, because when is
July it was.
In May?
Or May, that's what it was.
So I brought it with me to Comic-Con to go to in person.
Yes, you brought it to San Diego.
Yeah, we started talking from there, and the piece that Beto sculpted that we made, things you can do when it's just one or two pieces, right?
Right.
It's how to translate. You guys are the wizards who translate it into production. I'm blown away by the pictures this week.
Yeah, so it's awesome. It's been a great ride. And Beto, when we saw your work, Hector and I were both blown away. We're like, this thing literally is 100% on point. It feels great. But Beto, when we first spoke to you, you said, if we're gonna do this, I need to improve it. And we're like, what? Right?
Yes, that's correct.
What was the big changes what were the things that you had thought about in that moment? Like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna update this, I'm gonna change this. Give me like an example of something that you felt was worth updating.
The skin texture, I decided we wanted to do more, more crispy, more
like high resolution.
Yes, exactly. And also want to sculpt the other version of the head, like the same mask, and always want Revenge of the Creature Figure.
Yeah.
So I find the opportunity to
Go all out.
the project that Steve and I showed you to you guys.
Yeah. So essentially, Beto, you sculpted this. You ended up painting it for us and fabricating an entire prototype, right? Hector, how rare is that?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, not only is it rare to get someone who can sculpt and paint together, right? And be a fantastic painter at that. But also he gave us a fully functioning prototype. Like it was a fully functioning prototype with the, I think the prototype was a rubber skin. Was it a silicone skin?
I have one of the fibers we do. It's very similar to this one.
This is still a prototype.
Yes, more or less.
Yeah. An early mock-up of what the concept, and even there we were like, this is awesome. But yeah, you had produced it, fabricated it. It was incredible, and we just knew, Hector and I both felt that, like, because you guys, because Steve knows his stuff, like this guy's like a real hardcore fan, he can call out like little inaccuracies that maybe we would have missed. And because Beto, you're so dedicated to the point where you're producing a whole prototype, we knew this was going to be a great team up. So here on the screen, just so you guys can see, are the early I'm sorry, there's the glasses. Oh my God. Okay, no, come on. Okay, so yeah, here's the early digital sculpt, right? Or this is actually the finished digital sculpt, right, Hector?
I think so, yeah, Beto. I think this was pretty close to finish. Yeah,
definitely late stage.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's awesome. You can see just how much accuracy and attention to detail, like every bit of the skin texture. Beto, just answer me, like, is this actually as challenging as it looks to do skin texture like this? Are you literally going in and carving each circle one at a time? Is that how this works?
Well, I do some kind of patches. I am a traditional sculptor.
Okay.
I usually started sculpting in clay when I was very, very young.
Okay.
So I learned some tricks sculpting dinosaurs and other things. So I create some kind of tools with small, concavite agujeros.
Yeah, some little cavities.
The texture. So I
stamp, right?
Like stamping.
Yeah. It was. When I used to sculpt traditionally, I would create little stamps, especially if I was doing scales. Like I would create stamps out of like super sculpey or something like that.
Okay.
And bake it and then use So yeah, to Beto's point.
It's amazing, and that's an important thing to bring up, Beto, that you actually were a traditional sculptor and you kind of learned digital sculpting later on in life. But the point is, when you see this stuff, it seems like you've always sculpted like this. So it's just really impressive. Yeah. One of the things, guys, just so you know, Steve and Beto, that people love to see on this stream is the exploded view. And so this one, Hector, I'm going to have to ask you to like really help us out here. This one has an exploded view that's really interesting because we built a whole figure inside the skin. Is that right?
Right. So if those of you tuned in for Clayface, this is like that times 100, basically. It is an interior, fully interior armature, but it's a PVC ABS armature, right? That's on the inside, all articulated, right? And that's inside the skin of the.
This is basically a circuit. What is this? Look at this.
Yeah, it's two parts of the thigh.
No, I'm kidding.
So basically, this is what's inside of the Creature from the Black Lagoon figure. And so the previous image you just saw, which was Beto's like T-pose sculpt, right? Like that's like the outer shell, basically. Right. That's the outer skin, and all inside of it is all of that articulation. So you're going to get elbow joint articulation, knees, the ankles, the thighs, all that stuff. You get some swivel in the torso, and this is our first time going into this, which is really exciting. But it's really cool to see the engineering here.
And Hector, this is something that we don't usually see in our exploded views. What exactly is these pieces here?
Which pieces?
Like this is like the chest and pelvic shell, right, or shape, but inside. But why don't we see this normally? Because we're painting the outside, right?
Oh yeah. So like usually like the inside of this, what you're seeing here normally is the outside, right? Look at the orange part of the chest, right? Like that would normally be sculpted on, and then that's the inner cavity is what you're looking at, where the gray is, right? Where it's like
Right.
where like the pegs and the sprues are, where they connect the two
Right.
pieces, right? So you don't normally see any of that because it's sculpted over, and
Right.
you know, unless you break your figure open or something like that.
Right. So if you got this figure in hand, this would be inside the skin that Beto sculpted.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is-
Like
yeah.
if you cut it apart, if you sliced it open, you would
Yeah.
see all that stuff.
So this is something I want to focus on because, well, first of all, these are just some great angles here. What are we looking at here, Hector?
So Beto also he designed this, right? And
Okay.
Steve, you guys, it was very you guys were very adamant about, like, we need to make sure the eyes are separate, right? And the mouth is separate, because it's just going to add that extra layer, right? Of realism. And it also kind of adds, for me, it makes it feel more like a mask, right?
Yeah.
So this was basically what Beto had already done, but our manufacturing partners went and refined it all for it to work, for production. But you're looking at basically like the structure behind the face, right? So we have the eyes are separate, the mouth is separate, the chest piece is swappable for the revenge of the creature and the regular creature, right? So and those are magnets, by the way. I don't know if that's illustrated in the product pages, but like the swappable chest piece is a magnet. Same with the heads. All the heads are magnets.
It's super premium.
I'd love to point out, it was really important to us. If you recall, the first version we did, the head was a separate piece, so it could have some neck movement. And it was really important that this all be one piece, because the original costume, right, the whole mask was attached down to the neck, really couldn't turn his head. So we wanted it that movie accurate.
Yeah, I thought that was such a great, when we came to that decision, I was so happy about it, because you sacrifice the neck movement, right? So you're not going to get.
Actually, that's one of the upgrades we do about our figure, because our figure is only the neck, don't have the part of the chest, and that's what's very important, because it's impossible to give accurate look if we separate the neck from the
shoulder piece there.
Exactly. It's almost like I think I brought this up to you guys when we were talking about it, but it's like Michael Keaton's Batman.
Exactly.
As soon as you separate it here at the neck, it loses its effect, and it doesn't look like that Batman '89 suit anymore. And that's kind of what we were losing, or we're going to lose if we had articulated the neck here. So for the sake of accuracy and giving folks as accurate as we could get, we opted for no articulation in the head. Have all the heads swap out via magnets, like here at the collar where he would take off his mask, right?
Exactly. So here's just another example of what we're talking about. All of this is sculpted internal. So you can see the articulation points in the waist. You can see the articulation in the hips and knees. But from the outside view, these are pieces of articulation you wouldn't see. Is that correct, Hector?
Yeah. And the reason it's all lumpy there is just basically what that is just to add imagine like skin, you need muscle tissue underneath, right? You need that support, and you don't want to press into the figure and just feel nothing, right? You don't want to press and feel just a stick, or you know what I mean, like a pole, which is what would be the. So we added a little bit of mass there, so that there's a little bit of density and stuff like that. So
absolutely. By the way, we got another familiar face in the chat. Tufan Caesar, what's up, dude?
Tufan's one of our favorite sculptors. He's been sculpting for Mondo for like 7 years.
He sculpted all my stuff. All my stuff.
So all of Peter's stuff.
And he's worked on something really cool that we'll be showing off in a few months.
Yes.
Wait, welcome, Tufan. All right, so really rad here, but this is something I love. This freaking prototype. I got to hold this one, and the first time I held this, I was blown away. I couldn't.
You could not put it down.
No, dude.
You were just
dude, it
feels like a baby to you. It was like a baby to you.
Yes, dude. I don't know how to say it. Like the texture is just invites the touch so much. Like you can't believe you're articulating it and not like breaking the silhouette. It is amazing. I wish every figure was like this. It's so good. But this is an early prototype too, right?
Yes.
Beto, tell me about this stage here. What are we looking at?
Well, I combined there some rubber parts.
Rubber pieces.
Yes, we cast in, it's like flexible resin.
Uh-huh.
It's very elastic and very resistant. It's not affected by the time or even the solvent don't affect it.
Okay.
And we use resin parts to substitute the PVC parts of the actually
skeleton.
fiber. And in this time we use a metal articulated metal skeleton like the seamless 1/6 fibers.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up. That your prototype actually had a metal armature on the
yes.
Where is that prototype now?
A fiber and rip off the skeleton to use for the creature, and that's it. That is the way.
It's amazing, and this is, again, like, just to give you guys a sense, you've never held a figure like this. I can't say that enough. If you're just a fan of figures in general, Steve, as somebody, I've literally seen your collection, as someone who has almost everything that the creature has ever been put on. Like, am I being hyperbolic here? Because I feel like this is just it, dude.
I'd be disappointed if you weren't, because one of the reasons that we love working so much, and we hope to continue in the future, is we're all such fans. I mean, this is, I think, the first time in any of the projects I've been involved in where we all sat down with the same mission statement: was let's make the most accurate creature figure ever. Let's make the definitive one. So, we had that goal in mind. So, I wanted it bad for my collection. So, I want to play with it too. I'd be disappointed if you didn't feel that way. And when we started talking about doing the revenge head, because nobody does
look at it, dude.
Creature, right? And Beto just kills it. I remember Beto, who was so adamant, and I don't mean to speak for your amigo, but he was like, "No, we will not do this unless we can do the chest plate correct, because
that's important,
right? The underwater suit has the two sets of plates, whereas the land suit has the 3."
Yep.
And so we came up with this idea for the swappable chest plate, and as you can see, it fits like seamlessly. You wouldn't even know it if you didn't point it out.
A detail that nobody would have pointed out, truly.
Well,
but we knew it.
Fans know.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
But do you think nobody would have been like, I'm not buying it. But even knowing that, we said, let's just do it. And it, like Hector was saying earlier, it's a swappable magnetic piece. You just pop it off, put the other one on, and then it matches up with the right mask. But I just want to point out, dude, here's what we were talking about earlier. If you saw the masks that they were used in the film, this is exactly how they were cut. So it is just so cool that your alternate heads on this figure are just mini creature masks. They're so freaking awesome. It's just a cool thing. And we actually, I want to show this in a second. We created an awesome, Hector, this base that we created to display it makes me feel like you get, not this base, but the one that the masks sit on.
Oh yeah. We created and you can, when we go look at the pictures, you can show it. But yeah, we created a little stand, like a little mini bust, to be able to display one of the alternate heads.
It's so cool. And yeah, I'll tee that up in a minute, but it comes on a base, and I don't want to, to my own horn. I got enough credit, believe me. But I designed this base. I designed it. I sketched it out, and Hector, I told him, dude, can we put a base like the Aurora kit? And Beto, you have the Aurora kit there, right?
Oh, yes.
Can you grab it so people who don't know what I'm talking about? This is the old model kit. This was like everybody's first creature collectible or something, right? I remember getting one at Toys R Us and painting one.
We should do a variant in these colors.
Right. And so that base to me is synonymous with the creature, period. And so when we were doing this one, I said, Hector, what do you think? Can we do one? He's like, well, what do you want it to look like? I'm like, let me sketch it up. He's like, go for it. And so I just quickly did an updated version of what I thought would still feel realistic, like, and fit with the level of the character, honestly. But the silhouette, the branch going across and the reptiles and all that kind of stuff. The fish we couldn't do. Unfortunately, there was an executive at Universal. His family was eaten by a pack of wild fish, and it was too triggering. And so they just said, if you remove the fish, we're good.
Your fishies were so cute.
I know, but look, people have trauma that they're processing. All right, let me show. This is exactly what we were talking about here. Look at this, dude. Here, look at this. This is what I'm talking about, right? So this alternate head, any head you want to display on the figure, the ones that you don't display, we're giving you a whole other torso that you can pop the mask on. Right, dude?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to figure out creative ways to display alternate heads for a lot of our figures for a long time. There's varying reasons why we don't do it, but this seemed like the perfect opportunity, especially with how cool, the heads look like just the masks, right? So having this mini bus here to have a separate display worked out perfectly in this case.
I love this so much, man. And I think this is a figure that I would buy an extra one because I would have to have one with the Revenge head and one with it. But at least I know I get the cool torsos to put my alt masks on, and it just makes me want a mini mask collection. But let's look at some of these pictures. We haven't really gotten into them, and these are by the great Raul, right?
Yeah, Raul Barrero, who does a lot of our photos, did this one.
Yeah, it's just amazing because again, it gives a chance for this figure to look and feel as cinematic as it is, as detailed as it is. So these are some great shots. You get to see how different the figure looks when you have the look for the first film.
He got a little swagger in his walk in this one.
I know, dude. He's like, hey, man.
He's like, I'm coming for you.
You got cheapa. And so, and then this one, again, just like a totally different figure, man. It's just so great to see that. What's the best Revenge figure that you can get, Steven, before today?
I would say the plastic X Plus model that
Me too.
That the Creature Kid sculpted.
Yep, and that's a recent one. So it's been years and years, Beto, right? Without having like a real Revenge figure.
The only Revenge figure I have was the old Marx toys.
Okay.
That's the Revenge of the Creature. It have the chains and all in the middle sculpt. Not sure if you remember this one.
Of course, and speaking of the chains, we should call that out because in our accessories here, we not only do we have the swappable chest plate, the swappable head, but we wanted to put another great accessory in there, which are these chains that are a reference to that film. So if you are setting up a Revenge setup, you have like something really cool there, right? What an awesome scene, right, Steve?
Oh, amazing. I
feel like you really feel bad for him in that movie, I think. Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yes. I think that's why the creature is just so, no pun intended, universally loved, is so tragic. Like, just leave me alone. He can't even find love, right? Poor Julian.
He's my superhero for that reason. Just leave me alone.
Relate to him.
Yeah, Beto, when you see your work photographed like this,
wow.
Have you ever had any of your work photographed at this level? I'm not sure.
Never. Yeah. Never. It's very funny because I know I do it, but at the same time, it's like saying something new.
Yeah.
It's something I need to buy, really. And I need to buy 2 or 3 because I need the different. Different.
We'll send you Beto. You earned a figure, bro. We got you.
We got you guys.
We got you. You're gonna get some figures. All right. So amazingly, like you said, Raul is our top, photographer in terms of like it's just cinema when he's doing these. But again, look at this shot. We could print this shot, man. You know what I mean? Like this feels like. Again, it has a vibe of the Aurora model kit. It feels a little bit like the Creature Kid painting on the box. But again, it shows you what you can achieve with a figure like this. This feels like a still from a film, dude. Hector, when you see something like this, I mean, to me, this feels like we're making like a mini prop replica, right?
Yeah, we've been doing 1/6 for a long time, right? And I think a lot of times it gets compared to like a giant action figure, right? And with this showcase line, which this is a part of our Mondo showcase line, which is the same line that McCready's in and Nada is in and Megan is in. With those figures, we're trying to make something that's going beyond our comfort zone, which is making really awesome 1/6 scale animated figures, or like somewhere in between, like what we do with Motu, which is kind of like what we dubbed internally like our Mondo verse stuff, where we redesign the characters and stuff like that. this case, it's like, how accurate can we get, right?
Yeah.
And you know, when we talked to Steve and to Beto and we saw what you guys had done, it was like, this is it. Like, no one else is going to do it better, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that we're putting something like this out, especially taking the chance with like the seamless body and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know, our Mondo showcase line is our way of showing what we can do in this realistic 1/6 space. It's explaining that here at Mondo we do 1/6 different ways, but one of the ways is the realism, and we love it, we value it, we're fans of it, and we're working with the best people in the business so that we can bring something like this to life. So at Mondo, like you're saying, you know, those releases that we've done in the past covering horror and sci-fi from different eras. We've got the 80s covered. We got, you know, a character from the last couple of years. We're going back to the 50s on this figure. So it's really just an opportunity to cover some great icons in horror and sci-fi and do it in a way that only we can do. So I'm really, really excited about it. And yeah, Mondo Showcase has a lot of potential in my opinion, right?
Yeah, and I'm just happy that we get to add to it again this year. Hopefully we're going to have some more to add to it this year. But it just feels at home with what we're trying to achieve, and it's, you know, pushing ourselves and what we can do here at Mondo, and working with amazing artists, you know, like Beto and Steve and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, look at this photo, dude.
I know, it's so good.
I don't have pictures of me. Beto, do you even have a picture of you that's this nice?
No,
No one's ever taken this nice of a picture of me.
I know. This is like a beautiful like little moment that he just caught. Raul caught of him just like,
Yeah,
like an Instagram you know, this is like your profile pic.
yeah. He's like, Raul like goes into the room and he's like, "Hey, wake up! Good morning, little creature." He goes, "Huh?" And that's what this is right here. Yeah. But this is it. You print this one out, you put it in a little old timey oval frame right on top next to the Pope. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And yeah, so look, we had to include the bone claw, you know, and there is an image I want to show here actually. That is, well, there's that man. Who designed that base? Am I right, guys? Like it is so a real answer here. Yeah. King Panther actually asked, does the turtle come with the base? It does.
Yeah.
It comes with a turtle and a snake, which he's hanging out back here and his head's over behind the
you
leg.
can position him however you want on that tree. Basically.
Yeah, I can't believe we got to do that, dude, to be honest with you. Let me show something that I think is very important. Hold on a second. We've been talking about it a little bit here on the show already, but there is there was a creature figure. You were already at Mondo, right, dude?
Who?
When we released the first creature figure?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you work on that one yourself?
No, it was already sculpted and done when I got here. And yeah, no, I didn't. I think at that point just project managing the production of it.
So I want people to see this because, as Steven mentioned, like this was a really, I mean, I still have this figure displayed. I love it. It feels great. It feels like a stylized creature with all my other cool, like retro creature stuff, with my NECA figures, with my Super 7 stuff. But, you know, and I didn't even think about it until Steve pointed it out, but this is what Steve was talking about, right? He's saying, like, you guys got a great figure. I bought it, right? That's what he said. But it's not all the way there. And when you see this side by side, I just want folks to know, because I saw some people talking about it in different Facebook groups today, like, hey, didn't they already do a creature 1/6? Like, what, is it just another accessory kit? Is it? I'm like, no, please look closely at this, because this is, in my opinion, and I don't even think it's an opinion, night and day, right? Night and day.
You can really see in these pictures, in this image, Peter, you know, how important it was for us to have the proportions that it looked like a man in a suit.
Thank you. Right. That's a great point. Yeah, it looks like a person is in that suit. And that's so much a part of these films and this era of film. You can see the difference when you have a seamless or semi-seamless body. You can see all these cuts here.
Yeah, you see all the joints that we did on the chest and stuff like that. And then I think the old figure did a good job of hiding the elbow and the knee joints and the ankle joints with like the soft kind of PVC little like little caps that we had, but it just doesn't even come close, really. And again, you sacrifice a lot when you're starting to cut it up like that, right? Like this like just staring at the calf muscle of the new one, right? And just seeing the silhouette of it, it's just, you can't achieve that to this degree, right? With when you start cutting it apart like this.
100%. And I think the important thing to remember is this was Mondo at its best when this figure came out. There's never been an era of Mondo where they're not doing their best and trying their best, but it's also the time that has passed. Mondo has leveled up as a figure, like a place for like premier high-end collectibles, and so it only makes sense that we would be more akin and more attuned to what's happening around us. People are coming to us now, say, "Hey, release this. We'll work on it with you." And so that's the difference. That's why we felt the need to go back to the well, because the potential was to do this.
Well, and to add to that, I think, Mondo is made up of so many artists, right?
Thank
Internally, yeah. And externally.
I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it
Thank you. Yeah.
No, I was saying thank you for making a good point.
But what I was trying to say was that I think as artists, and we're working in this field, we continuously grow, right? As artists, we all do, right? And there's a tendency to look back at old art. I know I have a lot of old art that I'm like, whoa, my God, it's like I never want to see it again, right? I wish I could remake it now. And we've had several of those at Mondo, right? We did it with He-Man, right?
True.
Like, first He-Man was great for its time, but when we released He-Man Deluxe, like that was like us redoing it and feeling like it got better, right? Same with Skeletor Deluxe. We just did it with Wolverine, right? We had the original Wolverine from a few years ago, and Brewer just did an amazing version, right? So this is that same vibe, right? Like that old creature that we did like 5 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Was great. But now it's just a different game. So
100%. It's just really exciting to be able to do something like this, and really can't thank you guys enough, Beto and Steve, for coming and seeing us, and considering us friends enough that you would say, "Hey, I got something that would be awesome," and for being on the ride with us, because Steve, you were really integral to the direction of the project, like the art direction, calling out details, references.
Oh yeah, Steve was like the Bible for us when it came to the creature knowledge. But between both of you and all three of you, I mean, Peter,
Oh, thank you.
I can pat your back again on the stream. Maybe the third time you've gotten a pat on the back.
Thank you, thank you.
And but I'm sorry you guys don't get to see Beto and I the way we work, because we argue back and forth about the littlest detail, but we want the same thing, and we're just passionate about it. I think I loved the first head, Beto, that you did of the creature. And I remember he came to me one day while we were working on this, and he's like, "Amigo, I redid the head completely." I'm like, "You what?" I love that head. And he's like, "It's a millimeter too small. The actor could not fit in that."
Right.
And I still have it. I thank you for sending it to me. I have that head, and it's great. But you know what? The new one's better, and he was right. But
it's that back and forth is really, really important. I want to shout out Daryl Raimundo, because Daryl Raimundo worked on this, right, Hector?
Yeah. Daryl.
Some people are saying he had the most important job in the whole thing.
He sculpted the harpoon gun. He sculpted the base. Yeah. And what else? And then he helped us out with a bunch of other little things.
Yeah, Daryl's been working with us a lot and doing great work, and he's actually doing a really cool project we can't talk about at the moment. But Daryl, you rock, man, and so happy to have you working with us.
Yeah, and shout out to Mark Bristow, who painted the accessories for us.
Yes.
Beto did the creature, but giving credit to everyone who worked on it. Mark did the base and the harpoon gun and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So guys, it's just a really awesome process. But yeah, we got some more things to get to tonight. We're going to do some giveaways. But before we do, want to say goodbye to our friend Steve and Beto. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Where can people bother you online about stuff? Where can people go send you awesome compliments for doing great work?
Thank you.
Beto, where are you on Instagram or Facebook?
You can find me like Beto Matali or like Roto Kaiju.
Roto Kaiju. I saw a few people mentioning that.
What a
Yeah,
great
Roto
name.
Kaiju.
We made also vinyl figures and art toys, so you can find
Awesome.
me there.
Yeah, excellent. And Steve, where can we find you? You're writing for Action Figure Insider, right?
I write for Action Figure Insider on Instagram, and as well as you can find me on my Facebook page, Steve Sarajoli. There's not too many of me.
Awesome. Well, dudes, thank you for this amazing journey. I'm so glad we're here together, and we did it. We freaking did it.
Much.
And thanks for joining us.
It was a journey for sure, but you guys were both of you were amazing, and
Thank you.
I'm so glad that we got to this point. And and now soon, within this year, people are going to hold that creature in their hands, and
Can't
it's going to
wait.
be awesome.
I'll leave you all with a thank you from both of us for having us and for bringing us on this ride. You know, they say that productivity moves at the speed of relationships.
Yes.
And we knew from day one that you guys.
Wait, if you're going to compliment us, hold on. Go ahead.
There we go. We wanted to partner with you all, and we've loved every minute of it. It has been a long journey, and we hope that there's maybe more in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That was incredibly well said. Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So, Beto Matali, you're the man. You did it. You did it.
I
And
did.
Steven, you're the man. Thank you for doing it. All right, you guys, we'll talk to you soon. Get out of here. All right, there we go. So, just
So good
awesome.
having them on. They're so lovely.
Yeah, they really got it, man. They put together what I think is one of the best. I think it's the best creature figure, and I collect.
I agree with you. I mean, we can say that. Whatever.
Yeah, I think we can say it. Okay, so
got some
before we
giveaways.
get out of here, huh?
Right? Oh, what? Yeah, we do have some. We have some giveaways though, right?
Let's give away some creatures, right?
Oh,
Let's do it.
Perfect.
All
Yeah.
right, so let's give away some creatures. We gotta have a trivia question. I actually have two good questions, I think. And okay, I'm gonna ask, but before I do, I'm gonna open up the YouTube app to make sure I pick the right person who said the right thing. Hector, we're gonna be at WonderCon, right? We can't say too much, but we're gonna be there, right?
Yeah. We're gonna be at WonderCon. Mondo's gonna have a booth there with the Funko folks. So if you're in Anaheim and you're going to the show, come by and say hi. I'll be there, and a couple of the other Mondo staff will be there too. Alex Brewer is gonna be there. So we can't say much right now, but there's gonna be a lot of news coming out, I think, next week about it. So be ready, I suppose, because we have some great in-person exclusives and some great online drops.
And people are going to be able to go to a panel. We will give you more information later, but there's going to be a Mondo panel, and you're going to want to be sitting front row, snapping shots at what we revealed, because we bring the heat. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. All right. First question. So whoever gets this answer right, you're going to email support@mondoshop.com, and you're going to tell them you want a free figure. If you've won a figure in the last few streams, give it a rest. Give someone else a chance. All right. So here's the first question I'll say. Name the actors who portrayed the creature from the Black Lagoon in the first film. 2 actors. Go. Nick D. Nick D is the first one with both. That's Riku Browning and Ben Chapman. Thank you so much, Nick D. Congratulations. Email support@mondoshop.com, and you can tell them that you won a Mondo exclusive Creature from the Black Lagoon 1/6 scale figure. My God, what a night. This guy's, imagine him right now jumping around in his PJs. The little butt flap on the PJs falls open and his butt sticking out.
That's a weird thing to visualize right now.
That's what just happened right now.
Yeah, what a weird way to describe it.
But that's what, whenever I think about PJs, I always think about those old-timey ones with the butt flaps.
Yeah.
All right. Second question.
Mm-hmm.
Second question. No, Rodney Winch, the first person I saw with both was Nick D. Sorry about that. You were right under Nick D. Okay, second question. Who is the artist that created the look of the
That's a
creature
good
from the
one.
Black Lagoon?
The artist who created the look, who designed
Designed the creature.
designer of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Already we have an awesome answer. Monsters from Beyond. Congratulations. Man, everybody knows this, which I'm glad. Monsters from Beyond. Millicent Patrick is the right answer. Congratulations. You email support@mondoshop.com. Let them know you won an exclusive Creature from the Black Lagoon 1/6 scale figure. Folks, We're so excited. I can't believe it. We're here. One last time, if you didn't see it on the way in, right now, if you go to mondoshop.com, beautiful shot right at the top of the page or right here, you click in, you can pick up and pre-order The Creature from the Black Lagoon. It is a timed edition. That means it's available starting yesterday on March 11th through March 21st at 11:59 a.m. Central Time. If you're one of those people who waits for the last minute, right, Hector? There's always one.
Yeah, there's always a ton.
Yeah.
So,
if you're one of those people, pay close attention and make sure you know your time zones, because it's over and you didn't read the time zone. But yeah, mondoshop.com. You can pick them up, pre-order them. We're looking at a ship date of November 25, right, this year. All right, Hector, I think we did everything.
Yeah, I think this was a great deep dive. I felt, we really got into the nitty gritty. It was great to have Beto and Steve here on the stream, and we fixed Egon's glasses right before the timed edition ends, which is tomorrow. So tomorrow, Egon Boogeyman ends.
Yes. Yes. Updated glasses for Egon. If you missed it, go to back at the beginning of the stream and you can see it for yourself. And yes, the timed edition ends tomorrow. Don't miss it. So many people were lamenting missing Sam Hain with Venkman, so don't miss it. All right, dude. That's about it for me. Anything else from you?
No, I'm good.
All right, follow us.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I'm at Attack Peter online, at Arce Sculpture online. We love you very much, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep waving. Always have to keep waving.